Have you ever looked at the studio down the road from yours and thought, wow, their classes are packed, their parking lot is full, but their dancing is just yikes. Meanwhile, your technique is solid, your teachers are rock stars, your families love you, but classes are empty. Well, here's the truth bomb, and here's why that happens. It's not about being the best studio in town, it's about being the best known studio in town. Today, we're going to talk all about why average studios oftentimes grow extremely quickly and great studios struggle to get seen. Welcome back to Dance Studio Advertising. I'm Bryce Conlan, and let's get right into it. So what is the deal with that? Like, why do bad studios that don't focus on technique grow so well? Well, the reality is that they're not better, they're just louder. Because their product doesn't speak for itself, they, as the business owners, have had to learn to get the word out. They've learned how to sell. And so they prioritize marketing and their visibility better and over technical advancements or even technical excellence. I talked to a studio owner just this morning who complained to me that the studio down the block from her is massive and constantly growing, but that the technique is actually harmful. Like they have a pre-point program that they put kids in, and when those kids come over to her studio, she's like, they're going to hurt themselves if we continue at this level. And it is a constant source of frustration. But studios that don't offer great technique know how to attract attention and how to make people feel something, even if their product, their class, their teachers, their ability isn't at the same level as yours. And guess what? And this is a like really uncomfortable reality, and I'm so sorry to even have to tell you this, but we have to stop seeing this through rose-colored glasses. Parents don't know the difference between good technique, bad technique, or great technique. Now, they do recognize what a polished brand looks like. They know what a clear message sounds like. They know how to buy a good product. And oftentimes when somebody shows up with a polished offer, they're like, well, if the offer is that good, then the technique, the dancing must be that good, even if that's not the case. But again, most great studios who focus on technique don't necessarily focus on marketing. Why? Because they're spending all their time on technique. So what's the takeaway here? Well, honestly, if you're waiting for people to discover you and your amazing, excellent technique, they're not going to. That's not how the world works. You're going to be waiting forever. So why do these great studio owners that like you've got the credentials, you've got a rock star staff, everybody on your team is credentialed and they know they're experienced performers. What is it that's keeping you back? Honestly, it's one thing. It's perfectionism. We see this a lot. I'll just be really honest. We see this a lot in ballet conservatories where everything in ballet has to be done to the nth degree. It has to be perfect. That's sort of the culture of ballet. And that perfectionism carries into marketing, where it means that when you're thinking about like your growth, you end up not doing anything with your marketing, not putting that ad out there, not growing the business because you're tweaking endlessly rather than just putting out the good enough. And I'm going to just be really honest with you. Massive perfect action is better for a business than polished perfection. Well, Bryce, didn't you just say that a polished offer and a polished brand is recognizable and is a good thing to have? It is, but not at the expense of not doing anything. You need to be out there moving things forward as quickly as possible. Now, most studios that have incredible technique program, or many studios that have incredible technique program, and if this is you, this is probably you, your marketing is likely passive. There is a mindset that needs to change, and you probably have been told if you build it, they will come. If you offer the best program, then parents are going to show up out of the woodwork. Word's going to get out. They're going to see you at a recital or at a performance and go, oh my gosh, they're incredible. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. You're relying on word of mouth, which is kind of akin to a hope in a prayer, and you're hoping that that's going to carry you forward. And it will slowly, just not predictably, not at the level that you want to be at. And so if you think that doing good work is enough, meaning focusing on the technique, really dialing in the process and all of that, But great work in secret doesn't grow a business. And so, like, it's fine to focus on technique. And I'm not saying, like, oh, you should prioritize marketing over technique. No, like, build the best program that you absolutely can. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. You should be doing that. You want to be doing that because that's sort of the cost of admission. But if nobody knows that you're doing that, it doesn't help you at all. And so you want to make sure, as you're thinking through this, that you're spending as much time or a considerable or comparable amount of time on the work inside your studio that you're doing on the work that is outside your studio and getting people through your front door. Now, again, this is going to be user dependent, right? So if you're a single operator, you own the business, you teach every class, this is going to look very different than if you've been in business for 15 years, you've got a couple hundred kids in the program, a full staff of teachers, etc. But my point is that somebody needs to be focused on actually growing the business. And that's what studios that don't focus on technique oftentimes excel at, is just growing the business. And that's why their parking lot is full and your classes are empty. So how do you do this? You care about quality, you care about excellence. That's an important part of your cultural studio DNA. How do you grow your business without compromising on quality? Number one, this will come as no surprise. You need a consistent, reliable, repeatable, scalable sales and marketing system. Not just a post on Facebook once every week when you get around to it, not just like the random video ad that you put up once a year. I actually talked to somebody this morning that has been running the same ad in her area for 18 months and it doesn't work. It hasn't worked for 14 months, but she hasn't changed it because this is what she does. Like, she's focused on technique. She's not focused on ad building. And so the ad just is out there costing her money, not bringing in dancers. This is where, and we talk a lot about this on the show, ad funnels. You want good ads, you want good funnels, solid landing pages, you want automated follow-up. So you're talking to those parents very, very quickly. Ultimately, you need a machine, predictably, not a mood, not like, oh, I'm in the mood to post on. No, like, that's not going to do it. It has to be consistent over time. And if you don't know how to do that and you want to know how to do that, reach out to our team at Dance Motion Marketing. Just head to dancemotionmarketing.com, click the schedule call button. We'll talk you through this process so that you have clarity about what you need to do with zero pressure to buy anything that we sell. The second thing that you want to do is tell stories, not just post schedules. So the number of times that I see dance studio owners reach out and they're like, I look at their socials or I see what they're doing for their ads, then it's like, Jazz 1, Thursdays at 5, sign up here. That's not going to work, right? Like, instead, we want to be telling stories because stories connect to people. Hey, this is Lily. And by the way, this is for paid ads. This can work for organic posts. It doesn't matter. But it's like, hey, this is Lily. And she's 4 and she used to cry at every single drop off. But now she's my special class helper and she loves it. And look at the power of dance. Is your kid like Lily, shy and a wallflower? Come on out to Bryce's amazing dance studio. Like, that's the sort of storytelling that parents really resonate with. And I know, because I am one. And that's like just what it means to be human. Show me what this is going to do for my kid. And stories allow me to see my kid in the story rather than just like, I don't know if my kid likes jazz. I don't even know what jazz dance is. And most parents aren't that smart and savvy when it comes to understanding what they're even buying. So it's about just telling the story of kids and their experiences. Third, you want to be consistent, not just creative. In fact, creativity can absolutely hurt you. And I know that's hard to hear as creative entrepreneurs. You got into dance, you love the artistry, you love the creativity. You know what sells? Simple sells. It just does. You want to be clear, you want to be visible, you want to be like, this is the thing, here's what it is, here's how you get it. And the studios that do that are the ones that grow most consistently over time. And the fourth one, if you haven't picked up on it already, you want to use paid traffic. The number of studio owners that I know that still rely solely on word of mouth, the local parade, and organic posting on Facebook once a week is too high. Paid traffic is the future. And I'll cut to the chase. It's Facebook and Instagram. And why? Without even looking, I can tell you that there's a moms of group in your community. Moms are already using those platforms putting ads in front of them just plain makes sense. It's just another thing. They're like, oh, I know exactly what to do. Oh, I was just talking to my husband about finding a dance class. Look at that. Yes, I will definitely go there. That's what you want to be doing. Free posts are great. It should be a part of your marketing. It's not going to get you out there in front of parents who don't already know you. The algorithms have changed. Facebook wants you to pay to play. And frankly, you should if you're serious about growing your business. So last thing I just want to say on this subject is that you don't have to be loud, like obnoxiously, annoyingly loud. Again, that can hurt you, but you do need to be seen. And so I'm not suggesting to you that you mean like, great, we're not doing anything anymore. I'm going to spend all of my time becoming a TikTok influencer. Like if that's your thing, that's fine. And I do know studio owners who do that and they've grown their business that way. But you don't necessarily have to do that. You do need a strategy that consistently you can use in March when I'm recording this, in July, in September, in November, in February. You want to be able to turn it on and use it year round to get in front of families who are in your community but don't know you exist. And I'll prove this to you. If you've ever had a family walk in and say, oh, I didn't know you were here. We live on this block and we have for 20 years and I had no idea that you were here. That's what I mean. You need to have a system to tell that mom about who you are, what you do, and why she should be interested. And if you don't do these things, the reality, truthfully, is that you're just going to keep watching lesser studios that harm kids physically in their bodies by teaching poor techniques, studios that don't help kids actually achieve their goals. They say, I want to be a professional dancer. Well, you're dancing in the wrong place. You're never going to get there. That are giving dance a bad name because parents show up and they're like, well, we spent a bunch of money on this thing, but I don't know, it looks like a bunch of wiggles to me. It doesn't look like anything consistent. That's harmful, not just to you, but to the industry on the whole. And so I'm going to suggest to you that you have an ethical responsibility. If you are a studio that offers great technique, you have a moral, ethical responsibility to beat that other studio, to drive them out of business because they don't deserve to be in it. And if you're the bad technique studio, hopefully you know it's time to step up your game on the technique side. But if you are the good technique studio, it's time to step up your game on the marketing side. You've got to outgrow them so that you become the game in town, so that kids stop getting hurt. Clearly, I'm passionate about this. So what do? Well, stop hiding behind the we do great work, we do good dance, we're the best, most credentialed studio in town. It's not enough. Start learning how to make that work for other people, to get the word out and let them know who you are, what you do, and why they should pay attention. If you're not just running a dance program, you're running a business. And the thing is, businesses need new customers to make money. You've got to learn how to do the marketing. Either make the investment, do it yourself, reach out to our team at Dance Motion Marketing. We're happy to help. We're on a mission to help 500 dance studios double their revenue, enrollment, and profit. You don't have to pay us for us to want to help you. I'll say that again. I want to help you whether you pay me or not, because we are mission driven. It's bigger than just making a dollar. It's about helping an industry thrive. And so if you want that, just reach out to our team. We're happy to talk to you. So where do we go from here? I love it that you're focused on technique. It's also time now to focus on growth, not just for you, but for dancers that are going to get hurt if they stay at poor technique studios. See you next time.